Zen Center, a Zen Buddhist sacred space.
A tour of the Cannon-Do Zen Center, presented by Michelle Kirkley and Lauren Winters.
Hi, I'm Lauren Winters.
And I'm Michelle Kirkley.
This is the main facility here, or the Zen-Do. This facility is located in Mountain View, California. We had a student of the center who has been a student there for 15 years teach us about the history of the facility and a little bit about the history of Zen Buddhism. In 1965, a man named Suzuki Roshi came to the US from Japan to teach about Zen Buddhism in San Francisco. Eventually, Suzuki Roshi founded what is known as the San Francisco Zen Center, and also a few other facilities, one of which here is the Cannon-Do, as well as the Tassajara Zen Center, which is the first and oldest Soto Zen training monastery on the West Coast. This place is located in the mountains near Big Sur. This is the
Les Kay is the abbot of the head monk of the Cannon-Do. He was taught by Suzuki Roshi himself. Les is considered the Roshi or the temple, which is a term that means the head of the group of Zen Buddhist monks. Les is very humble and prefers to just be called Les. Right after our meditation, Les gifted us with copies of his book he co-wrote called A Sense of Something Greater. Featured in this picture, Les is holding what is called the talking stick. Whoever is holding it must speak the truth. The talking stick is normally used by the leader of the meditation.
Featured on the left is a photo of one of the many pathways which connects all of the different buildings on the grounds. The top center photo is a picture of the Sangha House. This is the group's community center where they hold meetings and gatherings. When we arrived at the temple, the practitioners were holding their weekly work session where they go around and clean up the facility as a group. After the session was over, they do what's called the bowing out. We were asked to come participate in that. We took off our shoes, as is shown in this photo here, and then went inside the Sangha house. We stood in a circle and bowed to each other, and then Les made a few different announcements about activities that were going to be occurring that week and throughout the month.
The founder's altar is located in the entrance of the temple. The picture on the temple is of Shunryu Suzuki, who is the founder of the San Francisco Zen Center. Upon walking in, the practitioners bow to this altar in reverence. The founder's
This is the inside of the Zen-Do. The Zen-Do, the translation for that is Zen just means meditation, and Do means place, so this is the place of meditation. The Zen-Do was built as a model of Japanese and Chinese temples, and on the outside, it seems as if the windows wrap all the way around the building, but our teacher, Dave, actually told us that the outside windows, some of them are actually facade windows, and as you can see on the picture on the inside, the windows don't actually go all the way to the corners because that's against California building codes. So they weren't able to actually complete the windows all the way around, but they did their best.
On the left is a photo of the tapestries found in the temple. The person in the art piece is Kannon Bodhisattva. The Cannon-Do Meditation Center is named in honor of Kannon Bodhisattva, who is known as the Bodhisattva of compassion. As we learned in class, a bodhisattva is a person who attains enlightenment and then teaches others what they have learned instead of going on to nirvana.
This is a photo of the main altar found in the Zen-Do. On the left side of the altar is where the teacher or leader of the meditation will sit, actually facing the room, the center of the room. On the right of the altar is another position where a guest teacher could sit if they had one in the meditation.
So here we have the main altar. We have some oil candles and incense that are lit during the meditation. We also have 3 smaller statues that are figures of Buddhism.
We were invited to participate in the morning meditation session. We sat in meditation with the group for 40 minutes. Before beginning the session, our teacher Dave gave us instructions on how to properly participate in the session.
So here we have Dave showing us how to properly meditate right before we sit down. So we properly bow to the wall, then turn around and bow to everybody else. Once we bow to everybody else, we bring the cushion forward and sit down, then twist into the proper seated position, facing towards the wall.
Once in the seated position, Dave now shows us how to properly hold our hands, which is to hold our hands together in a circle shape with your thumbs connecting, and then your hands are to rest lightly on your lap. He also suggested that we sit not directly in the center of the cushion, but towards the front of the cushion so that your pelvis is angled forward, which is meant to help your spine keep a straight position. He also suggested that you should imagine a string going through your spine and then through your head being held up straight to keep your head and neck straight and taut during the meditation.
The han is a wooden gong to make the call to meditation. The teacher will hit the center of the board with a wooden mallet 3 times when zazen begins and once when zazen is finished. So that everyone knows when it's time to begin and be finished. To conclude our tour of the Kannon-do Zen Center, we wanted to show the signs which are featured in the front parking lot of the facility. We really like these signs because it's unique and something very different. It reminds you to be very mindful of life and to not hit the trees when you're going out.
We really like these signs because it's the first thing that you see when you pull into the facility, and it's the last thing that you see when you're leaving the facility. Just a little bit of a reminder of mindfulness. Thank you very much for going along on this tour with us.